And we're ready. Let's get to, and I just checked the sound level, so hopefully you can hear me, as a couple of classes ago you had a really hard time. So let's come to our chair and let's start in what is going to be our position for most of this class. And that position, I call it neutral position, and that gives you kind of the signal that we're coming back to this position so that I don't have to re-explain each time, right? So this neutral position builds from the ground up. You bring your feet to hip distance apart and parallel, no toes out, no toes in, because you want to not only align the feet to hip distance, but also the knees. So feet, knees, and hips are hip distance apart. You're sitting at the right at the edge of your chair, so you have plenty of room underneath your legs to work with, and that also allows your pelvis to tilt naturally a little forward instead of rounding back. And then you just allow the shoulders to be right on top of the hips and your head right on top of the shoulders. And that's where you find that access to being supported through your feet all the way up. You have first access is the floor, second access is the chair. And that's how you feel stable and able to, from there, balance your body, and from balance find the strength and the access to movement around, again, without tensing, because you start tensing the body when the body doesn't feel safe to go in the direction that you're going, because it's not rooted and stabilized first. And so that's what we're doing with feeling the feet. You can start moving your feet a little bit now, actually, to get that feel of the floor with the feet. You can roll them, lift a little bit the heels, and kind of find where your weight falls on your feet. And ideally, your feet are right underneath the knees so that the shin bone here can be perpendicular to the floor. The foot is not far out, the foot is not far in. And that's where we settle for a bit, resting the hands on top of the knees. You close your eyes and you start gently breathing, soft, easy breath through the nose, if you can, unless you're congested and the nose breathing is absolutely not happening. But if not, do your best to switch, if you're a mouth breather, to your nose breathing. And settle here to not only find the access to your breath and feel the breath filling you up and the breath releasing out without rushing it, trying to go deeper and deeper and wider on each round of breath, instead of staying to that shallow zone of the breathing that usually involves only the upper chest. You're trying to aim to the lowest part of the lungs that are right underneath the low ribs, and therefore really close to the belly axis, which is why it really helps to allow the belly to expand out on the inhale, creating space for the lungs to inflate fully. And then you use the exhale with a squeeze of the belly in to squeeze and press the breath out from the low lungs all the way up to the upper lungs. So let's take just a few breaths here, feeling that exchange between inhale and exhale, between filling up the lungs, bigger, wider, and deeper. And also releasing all the way out to the bottom of the breath instead of halfway. And now as you keep on breathing in such way, feel your body, feel the expression of the breath into your body, the physicality of it. And you might feel the spine expanding up as you inhale, creating more length. And you might experience more grounding, more softening, maybe a slight compression along your spine, not in a rounded spine, but just the spine stacks on itself, vertebra by vertebrae, just a little closer to each other. Feel the shoulders maybe slightly lifting on the breath in as the collarbones also move apart from the base of the throat. Out, and then on the exhale, the collarbones come back in and drop a little lower. And then experience the breath also into the back of the body. That's the space that we rarely consciously access. And therefore, we're more aware when you think about breathing, you think more about the front side of the body. But explore what the breath does and how it moves through the back of the body, all the way to the space between the shoulder blades to the base of the neck on the very top of the breath in. The weight of the arms are allowing the shoulders to drop a little lower from the ears. The softening of the spine allows the weight of the body to ground on your sit bones and on the chair a little deeper. And then at the very end of the body, at the opposite end, you feel the grounding of your feet with the floor under. So now you're not only supported, but from that support, you can allow yourself to relax a little bit. Still with a nice long back, you're not collapsing, you're relaxing. There's a difference between those two inner movements. One of them stays in harmony with the spine and is fully supported, and the other one, when you're collapsing, you go off alignment and you create different side effects of mainly tension in different sets of muscles that are not meant to be tense that much and that long. And let's open the eyes, or if you're familiar with this class, you can keep them closed a little bit more, because we're going to start with a gentle rocking of the hips forward and back, the rocking of the pelvis. And I'll go sideways to demo it from a different angles, because here you don't see much, but here on the side you're going to see that there's movement happening. I'm starting very soft and easy with a tiny range of motion, because I don't want to stress out my back into overdoing right away. This is a warming up phase. And the rocking of the pelvis entails that you're rolling against the sit bones, to the back of the sit bones, to the center of the sit bones, and to the front of the sit bones, as if you were seeing your sit bones as, considering your sit bones as gulls, and you would be rolling from one end or one side. It's kind of a nut size, it's a round ball. But you know what I mean, you're rolling on as if you were rolling a ball forward and back, right? And then as we do this for a few movements that we're breathing it in, make sure that you're breathing nice and deep. Then you start having access to a little bit more range of motion. The spine starts opening up. And now you can even move your hands a little further forward on top of the, almost top of the knees. And that gives you a wider range of motion. Now you're using, as you go into that wider range of motion, you're using your feet to push you away and to stabilize when you get off the point of balance. And you're also using your hands, again, to push away and back, and to find your edge as you come forward, so that the spine, the torso is supported in the rocking of the hips forward. And now next one that you're going forward, we're going to do little waves. So you're going to fall forward, not going all the way down to the knees, which we usually do when we do it halfway in the class or toward the end, but just gentle waves where you allow now not only the spine but the head also to come in this movement that creates almost like a circle around the head, from the chin going forward, tilting in and rolling up. Then you also feel the movement in the shoulders, from opening the shoulders as you come forward to rounding the shoulders in as you roll back. And you breathe all along. Couple more. And you can go really slow with this movement, a little more active. And back to center. Now we're gonna go sideways. We went into one direction of the spine. Now we're gonna wave from side to side. So here you have two options and see what works best for you. You can either keep your hands on your thigh, or you can use the weight of the arms to the side of the body to pull you from side to side into gentle bend. As you can see, my head is nice and loose, just following the tilting of the body from side to side and transitioning through center as you come back and switch to the other side. It can be beneficial to close your eyes for a few of these moves so that you can really tap in instead of being distracted by what you see on the screen or what you see around your room, so that you're even more fully present with your body and your breath. And slow down as you narrow the movement in. You bring your hands back to your thigh if you had them to the side. And you're gonna bring your arms forward, not far up. Today, for this exercise, we're bringing the hands at navel level. And then you have a soft bend in the elbows, shoulders are relaxed. And you're gonna do a little twisting from side to side, keeping your arms in position. And what is moving is the shoulders. It's not a swinging of the arms. It's all one block. You can already sense that the feet can be helping here as you feel a different pressure on one foot versus the other foot when you're going to one side and then shifting to the other side. And then let's add the head and see how turning your head over from one shoulder to the other shoulder usually brings a little bit more movement in your spine, meaning that you're able to naturally twist a little further without having to think about the twist itself. Just the head and the gaze allow the spine to follow that movement a little deeper to the sides. Couple more. Let's narrow in. Find your gaze back to the center point. You're not turning your head far out. And find center. Left hand to the leg. Swim that right arm forward, up and back. And then left arm. We're going to do a little swimming action here. One arm at a time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And keep on moving. Keep on swimming. Nice and easy. Your hands are relaxed. Your fingers are relaxed. Your wrists and elbows are soft. They're not stretching and locking out. Let's go for one more on each side in this pattern. And then we're going to switch. You're going to bring the right arm back, up, forward. So that would be a front stroke, where the other one was a back stroke. And we go from side to side and feel the sensation in the shoulder. The rotation comes from the shoulder. What is most obvious is the movement of the arm, but for the arm to move in such a way, there must be a rotation in the shoulder. Inhale as you swing back and up. Exhale as you release forward. And one more on each side. And pause and breathe. Take a few breaths here. Relax on your seat in your neutral position. Take a deep breath in, a long breath out. And we're going to bring the hands to the base of the chair and press the hands down as you roll the shoulders back and stretch the front of the body. The chin stays in a little bit. I'm going to go sideways so you can see. You're pressing down, shoulder blades come together, and you lift and lengthen the front of the body up. You're not relaxing your head back, you keep it in. Pull the ribs up as you inflate the breath. And exhale, soften. And let's do 2 more. Press into the hands, lift and stretch, shoulders roll back. Pressing down into your sit bones and exhale, relax. And last one, press and lift. Expand the breath in and exhale, release. And back to center, bringing your arms forward. Give a few rotations to the wrist to wake up the wrists. And reverse. And relax. Now you're going to bring one hand on top of the other one with space between. Palms facing down. And we're going to roll the hands. You're rolling in such way, right? Like the tumble of a washing machine. And you can go really slow, synchronizing movement of the hands, or go a little faster, or go much more faster, much faster. Your hands need to have a certain charge, a certain tension in them so that they're not flipping and tapping each other, right? You keep that same distance between the hands. And slow down. And we're going to open and close, left hand on top of the right. Open and close, right hand on top of the left. Now I'm going to do this a few more times. Trying to keep that distance between the hands, open and close. Couple more, feel it in the shoulders. And last. And now we're going to reverse. So we're going forward. Now you're going to roll back. So you're kind of bringing it in, bringing it to you. Whereas in the opposite way, you were pulling it out and giving it away. Now you're receiving and pulling it in. And again, start nice and easy at first. Kind of have a grip on what you're doing. And then go a little faster. And faster. And breathe and press down in your feet to stabilize the rest of the body. To get the power from the feet up. Your back nice and relaxed, but tall at the same time. A few more. Or a little faster, sprint it. Feel the action through your arms. Elbows stay at the same height. Slow down. Right hand on top of the left. Now instead of opening out with a bent elbow, you're gonna slide out, stretch back, and then slide in, opposite hand on top. Open, slide out, palms down, and in. You can inhale here, and exhale, soften back in. Inhale, open. Exhale, close, opposite hand on top. Sorry. Inhale, open. And exhale. And 2 more. Breathe in. And out. And last. Breathe in. And out. and release. Hands down to your lap. Take a moment here. Feel the shoulders, feel the arms, feel the hands and fingers, and feel how the rest of the body is feeling right now. Good. Toes in as you roll on your heels. Heels out as you roll on the ball of the foot. Toes out. Stay. Hands to the knees. Take a couple breaths here as you tilt forward a little bit. So press down to your feet. Make sure your knees are not dropping in. And you're kind of over the cliff here. You're tilting forward. You look down. You feel the stretch to the inner thigh. You're pressing down into the hands. You're softening the chest through. You're relaxing the belly. Feel the gravity at the navel. And then push back. Toes in. Heels in. Toes in. And close. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand behind you. Grab the chair. You keep your knees squeezing in together. You keep the ankles squeezing in together. And you're going to inhale here, nice and long. And exhale, pull and twist. And breathe. So the left hand is pressing against the right leg. And the right hand is pulling on the chair and back. As you press the left hand into the right knee, make sure you're not pushing your knees out to the left. You press down into your feet. You feel the integrity of the knees pressing against each other. One more breath here. And soften back to center. Then bring your right arm across to grab the outside of the left leg and round in. Press your navel back, spread the shoulder blades together, drop your head down. Coming back up into neutral. You're going to neutral of the spine. The legs are still staying in the same position. Right hand stays to the outside of the left leg. And you release your left arm back. Grab the chair, the arm of the chair, wherever you can grab. That allows your spine to rise tall instead of collapsing. Shoulders back, inhale here. Exhale, press right hand into the left leg and pull from the left hand back. And keep the activation of the knees together. Don't relax here. Squeeze in. Turn your head over to the left shoulder and back. Gaze back. Again, that should bring you a little bit more range of motion, simply with shifting your gaze to looking back. Deep, long breath. And gently releasing the spine forward and the shoulders. Swinging your left arm across to grab the outside of the right knee. Inhale, exhale, round. Dropping your head down. And soften the spine back to center. Releasing your hands. You're going to keep your legs activated, inner thighs, engaged and active to squeeze the legs in. And we're going to scoop the hands and arms forward, stretch up, and then fold in, scoop, lift up, and roll in, scoop, stretch up, kind of rowing your way. And a few more, keep your legs really, really active. Press down into your feet. Feel the activation between the feet and the floor. So the legs are completely steady and stable. And when that happens, the spine has a lot more free range of motion to work with. Couple more. And last. And you're going to grab your left wrist with your right hand and stretch up and across to the right. Keep the legs together. Come back in. Grab your right wrist, stretch up, and tilt out slightly to the left. Keep your legs together. And come back to center. Release your arms out and down. Now open your feet back to hip distance apart. Rest your hands on your lap and feel the body. So now you have a different set of sensation throughout your legs. When you're opening your legs out, you might have felt a cooling relief, a little tingling to the inner thigh. And enjoy that space again, the spaciousness between the legs. And let's press into the left foot to allow the hips to tilt back a little bit, the right hip back, so that your right leg can lift with least effort. Right arm is going to go back and left arm forward. And then you're going to ground, press into the right foot, shift to the left hip back, lift the left knee, right arm forward, left hand back. And we're going to switch from side to side, very slow, very mindful. It's kind of a slow motion run. You inhale as you transition through center and through even weight through your feet. You exhale as you lift arm and knee. And you don't need to lift. I'm lifting my leg pretty high here. You don't need to. It can be like just this tiny, and your arms can go to whichever level you feel comfortable bringing your arms up. And once you find a rhythm here, that you feel that you got it, that the movement becomes smooth and even and easier, then you can go a little faster. And to go a little faster, you'll need to engage and activate your belly a little bit more. And you go on to a marching. Arms are loose, and you're doing your marching here. Shoulders, as you can see, my shoulders, there's a little movement, a little twisting from side to side. And it's not like I'm thinking I need to twist. It's just the balancing, the swinging of the arms that is making the shoulders slightly move. And let's keep on going. A few more. Maybe for some of you, you're feeling your heart rate increasing a little bit. If you feel overwhelmed by it, you can go back to slower mode here, or mindful. But if not, pick up to the next few to going a little faster. Press down into the sit bones. Keep on going just a little bit more. And then slow down if you are going faster. Last two moves, very slow. Land, inhale, arms up, palms together, clasp your fingers to rotate the palms up, and stretch. Press down into your feet, press down into the sit bones, expand up to the ceiling with the palm of your hands. And breathe. Lowering the back of the hands to the top of the head, and we're going to do a little tilting from side to side, from elbow to elbow. Back to center. Look at your hands, and you're crossing your hands in a way that the index finger, the first one is on top, right? The top index finger. And you're going to cross your hand the opposite way so that the opposite index finger is on top, and then you interlace the rest of the fingers. And that's probably what we feel as the awkward way. It feels like, what? This is not right, because we have a default way of crossing fingers. So go into the awkward zone. Rotate your palms up, stretch up. The stretch, therefore, is going to feel different because of the awkwardness of the hands. Press down into the feet, press down into the sit bones, reach up. And then hands, back of the hands, rest on top of the head, still with the fingers crossed. And we're going to tilt from side to side again. And breathe and use your feet to press down and stabilize. Back to center, releasing your fingers, palms down, and you're going to gently and slowly press through the front of the body, the hands down towards the front of the hip. Then you're going to swing up. Inhale, palms down, and press down through the front of the body, slow and easy, releasing the breath out. Inhale, press the breath out. Breathe in, press down and out. And one more, breathe in, press down and out. And release. Hands slide to the top of the knees. Tilt the hips forward. Squeeze the pelvic floor muscle. Squeeze the belly. Shift and lift. I'm going to move the computer back a little bit so you can see me a little better. And we're going to go to the back of our chairs. I'm going to rotate my chair sideways so you can see me. What I'm doing from the side perspective. Here. So hands go on top of the back of the chair, and you're gonna bring yourself to standing with the feet hip distance apart, the same way you had your feet when you were sitting. And we're gonna shift here the weight from foot to foot, from side to side, to the point that the heel that we're not standing on, start lifting just a tiny bit from the floor. Therefore, that leg that you're not standing on, the knee also bends a little bit. And you make sure here that you're not shifting like this. You're shifting with the hips sliding from side to side. And then you lift the heel, the opposite heel, a little higher to the point that you can even press through the ball of the foot. And then we're going to stay on to the right leg, shift, and then press into the ball of the left foot. I'm going to come forward and show you my foot. That really, you press and lift the heel really strongly. So I'm going to do the other foot so you can see it, but you're doing the left foot. So now you're shifting your weight towards the toes here. Your left leg is rooted and grounded. But you're kind of leveraging the stretch from the front of the foot into the ankle on the left foot and pressing into your toes. And then relax down and shift and go to the other side. Now you're going to press on the ball of the right foot, lifting the heel up as you bring your weight to your left leg. And release down, shift your weight to your right foot, step back your left foot, and then bring your heel down, both legs are straight, and then you're going to bend the front knee and go deeper into the back leg. Here, that might be already quite a stretch for you. Right foot is grounded, the knee is on top of the ankle or midfoot, but make sure it's not going past the toes. And then you're sinking your hips forward a little bit more, and you feel the stretch. My back foot is flat on the floor. I'm not lifting here. Down. Find the right angle to bring your foot down. If that means that you're not bending as much the front knee, that's fine. Maybe the back of the leg is really tight, and that's your stretch. If you have a little bit more to move with, then you bend the front knee a little bit more. You can also bring your forearms and elbows on top of the chair and relax. See, I'm not pushing the hips. I'm not rounding and pushing the hips forward with the curling of the tailbone down. I'm relaxing my tailbone to this neutral position here. And then it's the whole bending of the front knee that give access to the back leg. If you need even more than that you can go deeper because your back leg is pretty open, then shift and slide your left foot a little bit more back, drop, and now you can bend your front knee deeper without the knee going past the toes. And breathe, and again you can lean forward, keep the hips squared to the front. Hands come back to the chair, you lift up, you shift your weight forward to step the left foot forward. You shake things out, you bend the knees and shake the arms, legs, everything out. And we'll switch to the other side. Shift your weight to your left foot to step back your right foot. So you can have a narrow stepping, drop the heel here and see how that feels on the back leg, on the right leg. Start bending the front knee and see how you're accessing the back of the calf, the hamstring on the right leg. That might be your stretch. Second position you can get in is coming forward and bending a little deeper. Make sure, again, your knee is not past the toes. So slowly look down. If you cannot see your toes, then you're past the toes. You have to pull back. If you still want to go deeper into the back leg stretch because you still have room to work with, you push up and you slide that right foot, even if it's 1 inch more back, drop the heel, bend the knee, find that deeper access to the back of the right leg. And then again, you can lean forward here and check out that your knee is not going past the toes on the front leg. And breathe. So here you could have like the temptation to do this, and that's a different stretch. This is another stretch here, but today we're focusing on the back leg. So the hips are sinking forward, and you breathe. One or two more breaths here. And then you push away, hands to the chair. You shift the weight forward. You step up your right foot, arms to the side, and you shake things out. And the shaking comes from a balancing of the knees up and down. And you feel the shaking from the shoulders through your arms. So you shake your hands, shake it all. And let's get back to hands on the chair. And we're gonna go into our back stretch. And for that, find the right distance to walk back that allows your spine to come forward parallel to the floor. If you're really tight in the back of the legs or in your low back, that's what you're gonna experience here, a rounding. So even if you feel that, no, your back is completely good, it's really easy to lose real track of how our position, our posture is. So all of you bend the knees and then curl the tailbone back and up. That means that you're tilting the pubic bone down and back. And that starts tilting the tailbone and the sit bones up. And you're gonna feel a relaxing here of the back. From most of you might have experienced from the beginning this rounding, and you want to go into the spine gently, slightly arching. So that's why you're bending the knees to roll the sit bones back and up and relax the belly to your thigh. Once you find that tilt, you can experiment and see if keeping that same sensation through the spine, you're able to straighten the legs just a little bit. But it's not needed. You can stay with your knees bent and stretch your back. Now, when you find this tilt in your spine, you expand from the arms, you pull the thighs back, and you feel not only a stretch into the back of the legs and the back of the spine, the back of the torso, but you feel a stretch also to the front of the torso, into the chest, into the belly, in the armpits, through the arms. Head is not dropping down. You keep it parallel to the floor, ears between the arms. Take a couple breaths here. And pressing through your feet. Now you start curling the tailbone under to push back up. And you walk your way forward. Release the arms out to the side, and last shake before we sit down again. Bounce and shake all the way to relaxing your jaw and feeling the shaking in your head and around your head. My lips are slightly open. The space between the teeth, upper teeth and lower teeth, is open. I relax my tongue. And I keep on shaking just a little bit more. Shake the aches, shake the tightness, shake everything up and down. Let it drop. Complete reset. And slow down your shaking. And you're gonna swing a little bit from side to side. Make sure that your chair is not that close so that you're not bumping the chair with your arms, like me. Do more here. And back to center as you slow down. Now we're in, and let's come back to sitting on our chairs. The hour went by so fast. And let's take a seat. Find our neutral sitting here, our neutral position. Feet hip distance apart and parallel. Shin bones perpendicular to the floor. Hands rest on the thigh. You relax elbows and shoulders. You move your chin a little bit and your head in and out. And side to side, and find that right spot in between to just allow your head to float on top of the spine. Close your eyes and take a few deep, long breaths. Deep in, long out. Feel your body here. Allow the weight of your body to sink down and to relax on both floor through the feet and chair through the sit bones. Feel the weight of the arms dropping as you feel the support of legs and hands, and the elbows bend a little bit or a lot depending on the length of your arms. And all that has an effect on the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to soften down and away from the ears a little easier. And feel your feet. From your feet, feel your legs. Feel your hands resting on your lap. And then from the hands, feel your arms. Feel your hips, low belly and low back. Feel your spine from the base of the spine and the tailbone up to the base of the skull and the neck area. Feel the chest and the upper back. Feel the whole right side of the body, to the right of the spine, and to the right leg, the right arm, the right side of the face, the right side of the brain. And then feel the whole left side of your body, from leg, arm, left side of the torso to the left of the spine, left side of the face, left ear, and left side of the brain. Feel the whole back of the body, from the back of the heels to the back of the legs, back of the torso and back of the head. Feel the whole front of the body, from the top of the feet front of the ankles, legs up, front of the hips, front of the torso, throat and face. Feel the breath expanding and releasing, lifting and falling. And let's place our hands on the belly. And you're going to press your hands gently into the belly and rub the belly clockwise if that feels good. If not, check out if counterclockwise feels better. And you're really rubbing in. So as you press the hands into the belly, you're not rubbing to the surface, sliding your hands on the surface of your belly. You're pressing into the belly and rubbing in few layers beneath the surface of the skin. To even if it feels good, press deeper in, add some extra pressure, and you're rubbing into your digestive system, into your guts. If you're having issues like gasiness, constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, all this kind of thing that are not fun because they usually come with pain, this is a great move here to massage your organs, to soften any achiness there. And then come back to stillness. Just slide your hands and you're going to bring one hand on top of the chest and the other hand on top of that first hand. And press in with your hands and rub around the chest. You're pressing into the chest and gliding and rolling the flesh on top of the rib cage on the chest area against the rib cage. And that's very calming, centering for the nervous system here. It's calming for the heart. It's taking you into parasympathetic nervous system, which is that part of the nervous system that brings you happy and joyful hormones, good neurotransmitters, that calibrates out the cortisol, which is the hormone we produce for fight and flight. So here you're going into your happy place. Everything is good, everything is easy. I'm at peace, rest. I'm calm and centered. Keep on rubbing just a few more times. My heart is content and open. And then from here, you're going to rub your palms together and get some heat into the palms so that when you have that happening, you're activating your hands. You cup your palms over your eyes and you feel the warmth, kind of melting the tensions in the eyes, around the eyes, all the way to the tension you might be holding on across your forehead as your fingers are resting on your forehead. And gently, when you're ready, you're allowing your hands to sweep out and down, sweep to wipe out. And you can open your eyes and get back to the room you're in. Get fully back into your whole body, into your breath. Feeling that those two are a closer friend at the end of the practice. It's not the breath, hectic, erratic breath on one end, and the body restricted, not accessed, not felt on the other end. Everything is back together in harmony, which allows also your mind to take a little rest. And I'll come forward to you. I'll bring the microphone with me so I can talk to you for a bit for questions and answers that we might have going on today. Now